Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. If you don't get my reference, you clearly haven't been doing quarantine right. I don't know about anybody else, but trying to find ways of keeping myself sane and occupied during this pandemic while we're all on lockdown and stuck at home the majority of the time has been a challenge, to say the least. I never thought of myself as a hugely social person before all of this happened, but not being able to see my favourite humans in person, face to face, has really had an impact on how I'm dealing with all of this, and it's led to some unusual occurrences. So here are a few examples of the things that have been taking up my time while I'm not working. You have begun to consume so much media that you are becoming one with the sofa, and daytime TV is rotting your brain. To break up this cycle without moving too much, why not watch Tiger King on Netflix? It's a batshit crazy docuseries that couldn't be more America if it tried, and it will leave you thinking. And then I tried this. You are trying to jump on that craft train as soon as possible, and with all this time on your hands, you may end up trying some really, really odd things. For example, here's me varnishing a ukulele that I built and painted. No, really. Side note, I can't actually play the ukulele. I don't know if you've experienced this, but you are slowly watching your laundry pile up and up and up, all the while with a tiny voice in your head screaming, "You have had so much time to do this!" Eventually, your laundry will get so angry with you, it will become sentient, rise up, and crawl towards you like that girl from The Ring. The only trouble is, you now have sentient laundry, so you could end up with scenes like this. Make sure that you are maintaining a good day-to-night routine by changing out of your nighttime pajamas into your fancy daytime pajamas. And spend some time dancing in those daytime pajamas, apparently, because you were in a room with a camera and nobody was watching. Or, find real pleasure and joy in discovering that both sets of pajamas kind of look like birds. And now to move from something extraordinarily silly into something a little bit more serious. I just wanted to share this with you. It's really good to laugh at all the silly things, the ridiculous things that you see during a time like this, but I did want to touch on something just a bit more serious because I think it is important for us to share those things too. I had a lot of fun making this, which is great because I think it's good to find things that are distracting and silly during a time like this. But I do think it's important for us to acknowledge and recognise that there are really difficult times as well, and how we can support each other through that. And part of that is acknowledging it and saying, yes, this happened to me too. I mean, I started this week in a really strange way. I mean, as someone who has struggled with their mental health a lot in the past and currently, I started this week waking up normal time, getting ready for work. I was dressed and I was ready to sit down at my desk and start working again. And then the sort of next thing I remember is my flatmate shaking me on the shoulder and asking me if everything was okay. And I was lying on my bed. I wasn't asleep. I wasn't watching TV. I wasn't on my phone. I wasn't doing anything. And I didn't feel physically capable of doing anything because there was just this blanket of depression over me, which I have experienced before, but I think has been exacerbated and made worse by the current situation. We don't have a freedom to be able to do the things that we normally do, and with mental health, a routine is really important, and now there's a massive change in routine and unexpected things happening all the time, and fear and just the unknown. And I think that that is going to have a massive impact on both people who've never experienced that kind of problem before and people who have a history of suffering with their mental health. So I wanted to say that that had happened to me, because I think it's important for us to reach out and acknowledge that we're all experiencing a really tough time at the minute, and it's okay. I'm lucky enough to live with someone who will check, up on me and make sure that everything's okay. If you know of people who maybe don't have anyone, check in with them. If you feel yourself sinking, or your anxiety is worse, or you're just experiencing things that you've not experienced before, like that lack of motivation and concentration and real fatigue that comes with, a lower mood, or problems with depression, then reach out to someone, talk to someone, write it down. It's really difficult for me to say go for a walk, but try and do that, as long as you, of course, maintain a social distance from everyone else. And just remember that it's okay to feel that way. You don't have to be constantly doing and producing things and learning something new. During this time, there seems to almost be this rejuvenation and renaissance of some people, where they're learning new skills, they're baking, they're learning languages, they're taking up new crafts, and that's all you sort of see on social media. All you see is people doing. If you have been affected by all of this in such a way that it makes you feel so weighed down, give yourself that space, rest, allow those feelings to just flow through and over you, rather than battling them in order to do other things. If your body and mind are telling you that you need a break, then listen to them. And most importantly of all, try to remember that we are going to get through this, and we are going to get through this together. And I hope that when we do, I'll see you all in a beer garden somewhere. Okay. The star of the show.